Hear me out. The 0 point is evil, and I can prove it. Stop talking. I can prove it. First things first, when you make an accusation like this, it kind of implies a lot of things. First, if something's gonna be evil, that means it has to have some level of intent, which means it has sentience. So we first have to answer the question, does the 0 point possess a mind of its own? Based on different things we've heard in the Fortnite storyline, the 0 point absolutely is intelligent. It's clearly aware of things that have been going on the Fortnite island, but it's also tried to make contact with the residents. At the end of last chapter, we found out that the 0 point was trying to contact us since chapter 3, season 3. So clearly, if the 0 point has been trying to make contact with the 7, that means it has some level of sentience and some level of intent. Now, that in and of itself doesn't make the 0 point evil, but I want you to think about this next thing. The loop, which is the 22-minute game of Fortnite that all of us play every single day, that is a defense mechanism to protect the 0 point from threats. But let me ask you this question. How effective has that been? When you really think about it, how many times has Fortnite's donut been tampered with? It's been squeezed, siphoned, broken apart. Tons of crazy things have happened to the 0 point. So if it was the 0 point's idea to create a loop to keep people from messing with it, well, obviously it's not working. The thing that confuses me is, okay, why trap people in a loop and then give them the ability to escape just for them to end up on a duplicate island, which also gives direct access to you? And this is the next part which really frustrates me, but the 0 point has the ability to teleport people off of the island at will. Remember, the 0 point was the one that sent the Foundation to Batman's reality. Now, you could argue maybe the 0 point did that intentionally, maybe it didn't. But we have other examples to show the 0 point may be able to intentionally either save people or transport them to specific realities. For example, we know that if a person touches the 0 point, their body is supposed to be split across the Omniverse. With our boy Geno, that didn't happen. Geno was able to rematerialize into a different reality away from all the action on the island. It was almost like the 0 point saved him. Now, as of this recording, we don't know if that was all part of Geno's plan or if he might have been just as surprised as we were by the fact that he survived. But I think a case can be made that the 0 point has some level of control over where it sends people. Now, let's take a look at the evidence. The 0 point is sentient. It created the loop to protect itself, apparently, and it also has the ability to teleport people anywhere they want to go. If the 0 point's main goal is to really protect itself, why doesn't it just teleport people off the island the moment they get there? Or even better yet, teleport them to a different reality so it can't be tampered with? You mean to tell me that after all these millennia, centuries, eons that you've existed, you couldn't have come up with a different way to get people off of your island to keep people from messing with you? If the 0 point is sentient and has a certain level of autonomy, that means the 0 point went and grabbed people and places from different parts of the Omniverse, all to combine into one island. The 0 point literally kidnapped people and took them from their own worlds. And you know what? Because of that, that does show the 0 point does have a certain level of autonomy. So I guess it is true that the 0 point can pick and choose where it teleports people and where it grabs things from. Because if you think about it, I find it very convenient that the 0 point decided to grab a snapshot of Geno, which, speaking of which, I think there's a connection there. I don't know what it is, but something tells me that the 0 point kind of looks at Geno like a father figure. The 0 point and Geno have never really been at odds with each other. There's always been the Imagined Order versus the 7, and the 0 point was kind of caught in the middle of it. And if Geno was so evil, why would the 0 point literally grab a younger version of Geno? Maybe because this one was a little less corrupted? Look, even if that is the case, that doesn't mean that this one won't go bad. If anything, this one has the exact same potential to turn rogue and evil, just like the first one did. And now you're gonna jeopardize your own existence by bringing that guy back? While also knowing that the original one is still out there and may end up looking for a snapshot at some point. It seems like the 0 point wants to bring Geno back to the island. And I think it's because the 0 point ultimately is looking for protection. It might be the case that the 0 point isn't actually evil, but is trying to build up an army to protect itself against the last reality. We know that the Nothing seems to be the antithesis, the opposite to the 0 point. The Nothing has its own army, which is the last reality, so it would make sense that the 0 point wanted an army of its own. I believe that army to originally be the Imagined Order. And because of this entire conflict between the Imagined Order and the 7, it left the 0 point exposed. But there's one thing that I find interesting, which is that Geno seems to have a very vast knowledge of the 0 point and even somewhat of a relationship with it. He knew about the dangers of what would happen when you set the 0 point free, and quite frankly, I'm not even sure the 0 point wants to be free. When this island was formed, it looked like the 0 point sealed itself within it. The 0 point doesn't want to be let out, it wants to be hidden, because for some reason, the last reality is attracted to it. I don't know, Fortnite's not giving us any answers to anything. This is just a random video I decided to make, but I think it's an interesting point to be brought up, that the 0 point might actually be evil. And if you want to see why I think the 7 are evil, why don't you check out this video right here. I think it'll keep you pretty entertained, so I get the next one out. Love you guys. Catch you soon. Peace out.